Hello everyone, today what we're doing is we're going to be setting up the time and date stamp on the Pro 1080p Covert Spy Pen camera. Now, I've already taken the liberty to take the device out of the box, start a recording with it, and then actually plugged it into my computer already. So I'm going to show you kind of exactly what we're doing. So if I go down here to the bottom left and I type in this PC, it'll bring open this window here where it says device and drives, and you can see all the hard drives that are connected to my computer. This middle one is the pen, so I'm going to double click on it. You're going to find a DCIM folder and then another folder on top of that one. I'm just double clicking to get through those. And then here's my file that I just recorded. So I'm going to double click on it to play it. And this down here is what we're dealing with. So right here it says the pen right now thinks it's 2016, February 27th, 8:18 a.m. It is actually November 8th, 10:21 a.m. This is just a factory default. They come out of the factory with random time and date stamps. So this is what we're wanting to change, okay? So to do that, let's exit out of this. Let's go back to my website. Website is spycenter.com, spelled SPYCENTRE.com. And then if you go up here to where it says search all products and you type in the part number 6675, you'll find the pen. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the click here for device support. And the very top here, you'll see the instruction manual. There is an instruction manual that comes in the box, but we hand write our own manuals because we find it to be much easier, and it's just laid out in a better way to understand. So what we're interested in, I mean, this goes over everything. I mean, how to turn off the device, how to do recordings, everything's in here. So if we scroll down just a little bit, we'll see how to set the time and date up for Windows. It says when the device is off, plug it into your PC. And you do this by spinning it apart. This one here, it just spins apart and it reveals a USB. So just spin it apart, plug it into your computer. And then it says if a choose action pops up. Okay, so what this says is that a lot of times, Windows by default, when you plug something in, it'll pop up with a little window and it'll say, hey, do you want to see this? If you click yes, it'll bring up a window. If not, it's actually not hard to do. It's actually where we just were. So go down here, type in this PC, and then this is the pen here. So double click on it, and then this is where you want to be. So let's see what it says next. Move your mouse anywhere in the root folder without highlighting the DCIM folder, and right click in a pop-up menu will come out. So what this is saying is this is called the root directory, or root folder sometimes it's referred to. What this means is inside of this, you double click on it once, this immediate area here, this is the root folder, okay? So if you go in here, this is not the root folder. You want to be where it says outside, where it says DCIM. And what it's instructing us to do is anywhere in this white space here, we want to right click, and it'll bring up this menu, and you go down to where it says new, and then I'm just hovering over this with my mouse. I'm not doing anything yet. Hover over it, it'll bring out another flyout, and then under this second to last option here is called text document. You want to left click on text document, and that's going to create a text file. And then let's see what it says to do next. Second pop out next, the document should be called DCM folder. Double click on it to open it, and then enter the time and date. You can adjust the time and date, April 13th. It'll look like this. Okay. So what I want to do is I'm going to double click on this. I'm going to actually minimize this one, scroll up on this one a little bit so I can see it. Okay, let's see. So it's supposed to be year, month, day, hour, minute, and then seconds. And it looks like between the years there's a period, and then in the time they're colons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the year first, 2018, period. It is November, so that's 11, and then it's the 8th, so 08, space 10 colon 25. I'm going to double check the time here. It's only 23 seconds. I'm gonna get 26 actually, because by the time that I unplug this from my computer, it's gonna be 26 anyway. Okay. And then a Y. A Y is to display the time and date stamp, and we'll disable the time and date stamp. So let me show you what they're talking about. So I'm gonna put a space and then a capital Y. And what this is doing, or why they're telling you to do this, is because if I go into this recording to show you, Right now, it's displaying the time and date, right? It's right down here. It's visible. It's easy to see. But if you type a Y, it'll keep this here. And what we're doing is we're updating it. If you type an N, this will disappear. So you won't see the time and date on the file anymore. Most people want to see the time and date stamp because that's how you can prove when the recording took place. So it's really only if you don't need the device for time and date stamping, and these numbers here are just getting in your way. So I'm going to close out of that. Get back here. Okay. So what does it say to do next? Type a Y or an N to get the stamp. Once you've entered it, you can hit File and Save as, time. Okay, unplug it from your computer. So what we want to do as time. Okay, so I'm going to close out of this by hitting this red X, and it says, do you want to save it? Yes. And then they're telling us to rename this file to time. So what we want to do is right click on it, go down to rename, and then just type in TIME, time, and hit enter. And now we've successfully renamed the file to time. Okay, now it's telling us to unplug the device from the computer and start a recording. So I'm going to do that right now, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back with you. So what I did was I unplugged the pen from the computer, started a recording, and then plugged it back into the computer. So we just want to check to see if it worked. Go down here, type in this PC. It'll bring open this window again, double click on the pen, and I can already tell you that it worked. And the reason I know is because that time file that we made right here, it has disappeared. And that's normal, that's what we want it to do, because once it disappears, if it sees that file, that time file, whenever you start a recording, it's gonna update the time and date on the actual pen. So since it's disappeared, I know that it's seen it, updated it, and we're good to go, but I'm gonna check it anyway. So let's go down here. You can see the second recording that I made here. I'm gonna double click on it to play it and pause it immediately. So there you go. So we got 2018, November 8th at 10:26 a.m. That was exactly when I started recording, so this is perfect. It worked just as expected. And then now that we're done, we can go ahead and delete these files, right? And deleting is actually really easy. You can do it two ways. Well, actually, there's more than two ways, but I'm going to show you a couple ways here. So you can either delete them individually by highlighting it, by left-clicking on it like that, and then hitting the delete key on your keyboard. Or if you want to select multiple files, say you don't need any of these, if you left-click and hold, it'll create this, and drag your mouse, it'll create this box here. And anything that this box collides with, it selects. See how it does that? So it's highlighting them blue. So if I kind of do that, it selects multiple. And then you just let go of your mouse button whenever you're over top of them, and it'll select them. So it's a really easy way to mass delete a bunch of things where you don't need, I don't need either of these files. So instead of deleting them individually, I can do this. So left click, hold, drag, it'll highlight them, and then just simply hit the delete key on your keyboard. It's going to verify that you want to actually delete them. Click yes, and they're gone. And that's it, and you are finished.